Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you, wherever you might be joining us from. I am HR Funk, broadcasting from my secret hidden lair, and welcome to the Almost Anything Goes live stream. As usual, I don't have any plan whatsoever for my live stream tonight, so the direction we go is going to be determined by all of you and the questions you pose and the comments you raise. So I am looking over here now. We have Joe Morgan here, and I think we have, let's see how many people we have viewing at the moment. And for some reason, I am not seeing that. Oh, there we go. Looks like we've got 3 people in here so far. I know I saw 5 or 6 before I hit the go live button. So hopefully there are some more of you out there somewhere. I hope you're all having a good Tuesday evening or morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. I almost called this the May It Be May live stream because here in Ohio, we seem to be stuck in this perpetual loop of rain and snow and cold, and then it'll warm up just enough to make us hope that maybe we're almost there, and then it cools off again and we go back through the cycle. So I keep hoping that maybe we're finally going to get enough warm weather to sustain us for a while. And we got Paul Joseph is here. Good morning to you in your part of the world. Thanks for joining. Hope everything is well there. I've got my cup of coffee here with me, and by the way, this is one of my favorite coffee cups. I'd rather be drinking bourbon, but I'm drinking coffee so I don't slur my words and sound like an idiot while I'm talking to all of you. I got quite a bit of work done today on the video that's going to be coming up this Saturday, hopefully. I am going to need a little bit of good weather to get it finished up, but I hope you're all going to like that. We've got tomorrow morning's premiere video, which there's already, the announcement went out earlier today. That's going to be called A Tale of Two Holsters. I'm going to be talking about some crossbreed holsters coming up. And we've got some more people chiming in. Joe Morgan says, just happy to be here. A month ago, his dad died in his chair, but they revived him, and now he has his oxygen on, and he's well. Well, good. I'm glad that worked out for the best. John Rhee is here, joining us from Guam. How you doing, John? Haven't heard from you for a while. Hope everything is going well. Art Grote is here. Jeff Tim, hope all is well down in Florida there, Jeff. And says, don't sound like an idiot. That's normal around here. Well, yeah, that could be. You never can get your expectations too high with what you're going to hear on this channel. Muck93 is here, says, hi from Lincoln, Nebraska. Thanks for joining us from Lincoln, Nebraska. Joe Morgan says he revived him. So good for you, Joe. Good job. Daniel Green says, good evening. Hope everyone is well. And Craig Benz is here. Says, found a nickel Model 39 at the local gun store. Hope they still have it there when I get back tomorrow. Loved your videos on it. Yeah, if you can grab that thing and it's in good condition, I would strongly recommend you do that. I really enjoy mine. I think it looks fantastic. It comes from back in an era when the looks of a firearm were as important as its functioning, and mine both looks good and shoots well. So I hope you can get back there and pick that up before somebody else does. Fred Schmidt is here from Ohio. How you doing, Fred? Luke B says, I have a question, HR. Have you ever seen a low-profile gas block that isn't pinned? Wait a second. Pin barrel isn't dimpled, walk out of alignment during prolonged shooting. I don't think I've ever seen one walk out during prolonged shooting, if that's what you're asking. So no, I have not, but I can't speak obviously for every single brand and type out there or anything else. John Rhee, for some reason, your notifications aren't showing up for me. That's happening a lot, John. All of you, check that little bell icon up there and make sure that it's clicked for all notifications coming in. I had somebody else tell me just yesterday that they're not getting notifications. And YouTube is doing some strange things in 2022. And it seemed like it started maybe even a little bit before January got here, maybe late December. And it seems like everybody, or at least the smaller channels, have taken a hit. My views took a nosedive. Beginning the first of the year, my ad revenue went down right along with it. And I've been clawing my way back up ever since. And finally, I'm starting to, I feel like, get back to where I'm at least climbing again. but I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube exactly. I've got some theories, but the bottom line is, all of you out there, thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. If you happen to talk to anybody else out there who's a firearms enthusiast and you think they might like the things that we talk about on the channel or the things that I put in the videos, let them know to take a look. Maybe we'll get some more subscribers. And I do have some new subscribers. The video that I put up last week really has done well. That's up around 50,000 views at this point. It's garnered some new subscribers. And that was part of the reason I decided to do the live stream tonight, because I thought there might be some new viewers out there that aren't really familiar with everything that goes on here and how it's done. And after the live stream tonight, they might go run screaming away and unsubscribe as fast as they can. But I hope not. And I would really like to make it to 50,000 subscribers. I'm at 47,800 or so right at the moment. So got a little farther to go, another 1,000, 1,800 subscribers, and I'll finally hit that 50,000 mark. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I make it there. And going back to the comments over here, let's see where we are. Rhino says, hey, HR. Hey, how are you? General Nutbag, I've recently got into sporting clays and gave a question. What do you think of the advantages of a pump or semi-auto shotgun are? Also, hello from Kansas. Wow, that would probably take an entire video to discuss. I've only ever done a little bit of shooting at clay targets, and I've done a little bit with slide action or pump shotguns. I've done a little bit with semi-auto shotguns, but I am by no means anybody who can speak authoritatively on that. I think the advantage of the semi-autos would be they're just easier to shoot. All you have to do is concentrate on watching your target and squeezing off a good shot. Whereas the pump shotgun, obviously, you're a little bit more involved, and that might take your focus off of your shooting a little bit. So that's my very amateurish opinion on that particular question. James Wilkinson is here, says, hello from the road. Are you on Instagram? No, I am not on Instagram. Sorry about that. I am not really much of a social media person beyond the YouTube channel. I do have a Facebook page, which I almost never look at, and that's virtually it for my social media exposure beyond YouTube. ERJG 1954 says, I won't stay unless Rabbi shows up. Well, I hope he shows up. I haven't heard from him. I didn't get anything back from the notification earlier today, so we'll see if he appears. David Hilliard says, hi, everyone. Just acquired a Smith & Wesson Model 22 45 ACP. Good for you. Outstanding. And Steven Simpson says, hello from San Antonio, Texas. Man, it's been a long time since I was in San Antonio. When I was in the Marine Corps, my military police training was at Lackland Air Force Base, just outside of San Antonio. We went through the Air Force School. And I can remember going into San Antonio, and I really loved the town, really loved the Riverwalk downtown. I went to the Alamo, and I've told this story like several times in previous video, but I must have gone to the Alamo half a dozen times. And every time I went there, it was closed. So I've never seen the inside of the Alamo. I've seen the outside of it. But hopefully, maybe someday, it's on my bucket list to see the inside of the Alamo. Where are we here? Jeff Tim says, are you south of the tornado watch in Cleveland? Yes, I am. I'm about 70 miles south of Cleveland. And in fact, I'm going to have to make that drive tomorrow because I'm going back up there to go to work. Nathan Huxtable says, Heidi ho, ladies and gents. How are you doing, Nathan? Glad you made it. And Fred Schmidt says, it's the Russians. Okay. Rider 54 is here. How are you doing? Glad you made it. Bob says, LGB. Absolutely. I don't have my banner behind me tonight. People kept yelling at me about my banner, so I took it down from the videos. But anybody who wants to throw that in the comments, feel free. I'm not going to be offended. And Nathan Huxtable says, I think ARF.com News mentions in their credits to double check the bell icon and set it to all. Yeah, and everyone, like I said, if you're a subscriber, check that bell icon and make sure you've got it set to all notifications because, again, YouTube's been doing some strange things here this year. And Camp David says Washington State wants to know where your better half is. She's away for the evening, so she's not going to be here to help me out. I'm all on my own. I'm going to have to muddle through without her assistance, although maybe she'll chime in the comments. You never know. If she does, it'll probably be later on in the live stream. So we'll see if she shows up. You never know. She has a tendency to pop up when I least expect her. A Monk 93 says, I like the Teddy Roosevelt poster. Truman is my favorite president. Yeah, I like the Teddy Roosevelt poster too. That came from Camp Perry. I got that a while back up the CMP store there. And they've got a bunch of stuff like that. But and I've told this story before, but Teddy Roosevelt is the one who started the national matches back in 1906, I think, 1905, 1906. So that's why they've got the poster that you can pick up there with President Roosevelt on there. Bill Keener, my bell got rung. I wish I could count the times that I had my bell rung. Nothing to do with YouTube. John Reese says he prefers killing Coke bottles rather than clay. And that's probably true. I've just never really gotten into the shotgun, clay, whether it's trap, skeet, sporting clays, none of that. It's just, I don't have anything against it. I think it's great that people like doing it. I just don't do it myself. Nathan Huxtable, I was 13 and tried clays with my granddad's Auto 5. Man, did that thing knock me around. I'll bet if you were only 13. Jeff Sams is here, says, good evening, friends. Coming in late. Not too late. We're really just getting started here, Jeff, so I'm glad you made it. Stephen Detweiler is here, says, Keltec KSG Tactical. Watching Demolition Rants. Interesting pump, and good evening. Good evening to you, Stephen. Glad you made it. Bob loves San Antonio. Luke B just got in because it's an Anderson AR-15. Wait a second. Just because it's an Anderson AR-15, if it's properly set up within the spec, how much less durable can it be? Okay, I think I get what you're saying there. If it's to mil spec, so I think I understand. Daniel Green, back when you carried 40 Smith & Wesson pistols that held 12 rounds or less in the mag, do you ever recall yourself thinking the capacity for your issued 40 handguns was too small or not enough? No, I didn't. And my my very first 40 Smith & Wesson chambered duty pistol was a 40-06 Smith & Wesson, which had 11-round magazine and one in the chamber, so 12 rounds total. And I never really felt like I had a small ammunition capacity in that. Now, I basically was carrying that not too long after I was carrying a 1911 in the Marine Corps with just 7-shot capacity. So I was used to a lesser capacity handgun. I moved up to the 40 Smith & Wesson, and I felt fine. Now, between those two, I did have a 15-shot 9mm Smith & Wesson, a 5904. But when I transitioned to the 40 Smith & Wesson, I liked the larger bullet and didn't mind giving up the few additional rounds. So that I did not feel like I was somehow vulnerable. I can't say it, vulnerable, because I had a few less rounds in the magazine. Jeff Tim just got back, went to the door to get a cheap red dot. Went to the door? So it was outside your door? Went to the door to get a cheap red dot for my cheaply assembled Palmetto State Armory Dagger 9. Report when I can to the range. Okay, and I keep seeing those things. I would really like to shoot a Dagger 9 just to see what I think of it. And hopefully sooner or later I'll be able to. So definitely let me know what you think of that pistol when you get a chance to shoot it some more, Jeff. Rhino is looking to pick up either an M17 320X, M17 or a P320X. Just can't decide. That's the great thing about the 320. You can always buy a slide and frame for your FCU. Yes, you can. Elaine Stomain is here. Hi to you. Dr. T says hello. Hello to you, Dr. T. And Will is here and apparently happy that we're doing the live stream. So thanks for joining us, Will. Michael Fallon, I know you said that you only shot a car pistol once. I hope someday you can give a nice review to one. Suggest a premium model, the Car P9, which is a good place to start. Thanks. Actually, I think I might have shot them more than once. They were always pistols that belonged to someone else, but I think I've shot them a couple of times, but never extensively. Rude Dog is here. Hello, says hello from Wisconsin. Hello to you. I once lived in Wisconsin for about 3 months. Again, back when I was in the Marine Corps, we were at Volk Field by a little teeny town called Camp Douglas that wasn't too far from Mauston. And what was the other town we used to go to? Cannot think of the name of that other one now. Just a little way south of Wisconsin Dells. We were up in that area. And we were there in the middle of the winter, so lots of snow, cold, ice, a lot of things that I'm used to from living in Ohio. So it seemed all pretty familiar to me. Chris Ondo is here, says, good evening from Pittsburgh. Good evening to you. Hot 8, evening, just back from dinner. Glad you made it hot. Mountain shooter on a Smith & Wesson 49 revolver. What does it mean? What does it mean by double barrel? I don't know. Double action, but I don't know about double barrel. I don't have any idea. Tom Coleman is here from San Antonio. Wow, we got lots of people from San Antonio tonight. Thanks for joining, Tom. Nathan Huxtable, I have a corrugated plastic sheet with slots that hold sporting clays face on. You staple a sheet to 2x2s and a target stand and shoot them with pistols, etc. Okay. And I've seen things like that before, so cool. ERJG is negotiating someone with or for loaning a pistol. Mountain Shooter says, hi, Mr. H. Hi to you. Steve Detweiler, are you still waiting for a gun to come back from the manufacturer? Or was that last wheel gun that you've started carrying the new revolver? Actually, no. I think what you're talking about is my Smith & Wesson Model 19 carry comp revolver. That is back. I've actually got a couple of videos that I've produced about that revolver since it came back. And in fact, I'm carrying right this moment. It's on my hip right now. So it's back. It's working. I'm enjoying it more and more. The more I shoot it, the more I carry it, the more I like it. So it looks like all's going to be well that ends well with that revolver. And Joe Morgan, I'm excited. Just excited. We all over the plague. Okay. Dad's healing up. The ammo's been stocking up, heading to the range soon. Good for you, Joe. HR Funk will test anything if you private buy. Yes, we'll review for ammo. I need a sign. Dale Kidd is here. How you doing, Dale? Says, evening, better late than never. And you're not really too late. We just got started here about 17 minutes ago. So you're really right in the thick of things right now. Didn't even realize there was a live stream tonight. So I'll call this a good catch. Yeah, I sent out a notice earlier today. I did a little short video to announce we were going to do a live stream tonight. So I was hoping the word would get out, but obviously not everyone got it. Maskman 1980. Good evening, Mr. Funk. I hope all is well there. It is. And when you're ready to get out of the cold, come down to Florida. My agency needs deputies pretty bad right now. I don't even know what it'd be like to live in Florida. You know, some place where it was basically warm all year long. I don't know. I don't know if my system could deal with that. I don't know. Maybe I could get used to it after a while. Craig Benz talking to Rude Dog. Bill Keener, it's not easy to get a CTCW in California, so I've heard. Pleased to have had mine for many years. The climate here. What do you or the subscribers think about pepper spray as an addition to your EDC? I don't think it's a bad idea. It gives you an intermediate step between your firearm and just nothing. So there might be times that would be advantageous if you have that to be able to use. Travis Chapin is here. Hello to you, Travis. And some of you guys are talking to each other. John Ladd, new to the channel. Love your content. That new carry comp is beautiful. Handgun. Take care. God bless. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. I sound like Elvis when I said thank you. Thank you very much. That was my Elvis impersonation. Now I lost my place. Jeff Tim, how many backup magazines do most police carry? In Ohio, here they usually have 2, but I've seen 5 in a front kit. Yeah, normally the majority of police officers have 2 spare magazines, but I've also seen some people that have 3, 4, however many. I don't know if I've seen 5 yet or not, but most officers have 2 spare magazines. Old guy, I have an old P229 and 357 SIG, and always been my favorite carry. Only 8 shots, but never felt under gun. And those are great old pistols, and not that old, but I mean they're great pistols. And we get into the capacity thing every now and then. I've talked about this in videos, but if you're comfortable with what you're carrying, that's really all that matters. B Beach, thoughts on the recent ammo price moves? And I assume you mean the price increases, although ammunition seems to be coming down, at least when I've been looking at it recently. Yet we see this periodically over the last, 20 or 30 years, with various elections and politicians saying or doing things or proposed legislation or whatever. All of a sudden we see ammunition vanish from the shelves, and what little bit is there skyrockets in price. I mean, I don't know how many times we have to go through this, but it's obnoxious, it's aggravating. I think when the price finally comes down, I'm going to be one of these people that stockpiles enough ammunition that the next time we're dealing with this, I'm not going to have to worry about it too much. I've never done that. I've never been one of those guys, but I'm tired of this. I'm to the point where, reloading components are very difficult to find, particularly primers. And if you do find them, the price is through the roof, and it's really just gotten aggravating. And I think a lot of us are tired of that. Armored Ghost, you need an anchor on your glow. Yes, I do. I should put one right through it with an eagle on top. Nathan Huxtable is talking to Mr. Keener. Travis Chapin is glad he moved out of Florida. There's a story there, I'm sure. Anbar Marine says, hey, great channel, Semper Fi from Texas. Semper Fi to you. Hard Marts Even says, really wish you could advertise the national matches at Camp Perry this year. Really wish you, wait a second, not advertise. Yeah, it does say advertise. National matches at Camp Perry this year. We need to get more people exposed to the quality marksmanship training. Yeah, and I've actually done videos. I've got a couple of them from Camp Perry that I've done over the years, trying to show people the competition, show them the process, that's involved with going there and becoming involved in the matches and all that. And I've gotten a lot of response for it. I've talked to people at the national matches. I've talked to people at the Eastern matches who have seen the videos, and they've been very appreciative because it's helped them out, which I'm glad. I'm glad that has helped people. And yeah, the more people that show up there, the better. Stephen Detweiler, do you have a wish list gun for 2022? Yeah, I do, but I really don't want to go into them because they're firearms that might show up on the channel during the year. So you have to stay tuned and see if I can get a hold of them, and I'll let you know in the videos if that's one that I've been looking for. Jeff Tim says it's a bad time to move to Florida. Apparently house prices have gone crazy. That figures. Will, just remember pepper spray is still a battery if you don't have the legal privilege to use it. Okay, for a minute I thought you meant like an electrical battery. I wasn't sure where you're going, but I understand what you're saying now. An assault. Craig Benz, have you made any progress on finding a 1917? No. I wish I had. Mark Nagel, hi, Mr. Funk. Have you ever had to dial in a lower priced 1911, and what would you recommend as one improvement that is most important? Probably the most important thing I would say is to make sure you have good magazines. Some of the 1911s, the lesser expensive ones I've used, have had questionable magazines. I did have that Llama a few years ago that I just could not get to run, and it didn't matter what I did to it. So I would say start with that. Feed ramp polishing, maybe, depending on what you're running. Make sure start it out. If it's gonna run, it's gonna run with ball ammo. So if it's running with that, okay, and then you can see how it does with the hollow points. But no, and I just got Paul Freed just made a $5 donation. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that very much. But start with the ball ammo, see if it runs with that. If it doesn't run with ball, change out the magazines. Look at polishing the feed ramp. Make sure the extractor is not too tight that it's binding as the cartridge are trying to slide up behind it. You just have to go from there. John Reed, pepper spray is all right. You know what? I was just telling somebody this the other day. It seemed like whenever I used pepper spray, I had about a 1 in, I don't know, 3 or 4 ratio of pepper spray working when I needed it to. Most of the time, it seemed like I sprayed somebody and it had absolutely no effect whatsoever, and the fight was still on, and you just have to do it the old-fashioned way, wrestling around, rolling around, finally get them handcuffed. And when I would get them in the car, that's when the pepper spray would kick in, and they're screaming about their eyes are burning. And so I have to listen to them scream the whole way to the police department. Finally, get them out, get them inside, and spray their eyes out so they would quit screaming. But I don't know. Pepper spray is a nice option, but it is not an absolute, believe me. Mountain shooter, I just need primers. I know what you mean. Simon Aguilar, never knew Mr. Funk was an anything goes type guy. The things you learn in live streams. Jeff Tim, 9mm ball at Palmetto State was $15 a box in 1,000 round bulk pack. Wow, I'm going to have to go check that out. Fred Schmidt, some ammo prices are from the Ukraine war. Some are from companies getting greedy. I'm sure both of those are true. Power Stroke Thunder. Good evening, Mr. Funk. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining. John Ladd, have you had any experience with the 30 Super Carry? No, I have not. Really don't know anything about the 30 Super Carry, other than the advertising and things like that. Jake Butler, just wanted to say thanks for all the videos, Mr. Funk. Have a good afternoon. Thank you, Jake. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Dogue is here, says hello. Hello to you. Paul Freed bought 2 boxes of 30-30 last week. Cost, $60. Wow. Used to get them for $14.74. I know. I remember that. That's awful. Rambo Stone, what revolver model would you choose for an SHTF for self-protection? I really like this Smith & Wesson Model 19 carry comp that I got. Something like a 3-inch 7-shot 686 plus to give you 7 shots would be a good option for a wheel gun. I like the 3-inch barrels. If you want to go with a 4-inch, they'll give you a little bit more velocity, a little bit more sight radius. But any of those are going to be good. Crembly Q, Semperfi, my brother, what is your interpretation of Ohio code for private citizen carrying spring-loaded batons? Seems to be very vague. Have you seen IC380 smartphone pistol? No, I haven't. Basically, in Ohio, anything that you carry as a weapon, if you're carrying it concealed, can be considered a concealed weapon. So I guess be mindful of that. As far as just possessing it per se, if you've got it exposed on a belt or something like that, that's not, in violation of any law. Obviously, if you take it out and whack somebody with it, depending on the circumstances of that, it may or may not be justifiable. But again, just possessing it shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. Dr. T, come on. Top 2 or 3 picks for 2020. Okay, wait a minute. That brings me to tonight's non-functioning firearms replica that I've got here. And you all will see this coming up soon. Let me get the music started. This is a non-firing replica of a Canik Rival Dark Side 9mm pistol. You're going to see this coming up very soon in a review video. It's an extremely cool pistol. This came to me by way of the folks at House of Pain Munitions. So any of you that saw my video from last Saturday know that I went there recently for a visit. They were very kind to me. They sent me back with some ammunition. They sent me back with a couple of firearms. That's one of them. By the way, if you go to House of Pain Munitions, I have a discount code for them. And here's their card right here, House of Pain. If you go there and you order something, use the discount code HRFUNK10, all one word all together, and that'll save you 10% off of anything you order from House of Pain. And I very much enjoyed that visit there. Nice group of people there. Hard Marts even says, if you want to visit the Marine Corps shooting team, please let me know. I will. I'll let you know that. I normally see the Marine Corps shooting team every year when I'm up at Camp Perry, and I've actually shot with some of those guys. I had a guy, what was his name? Tim. Can't think of his last name. He was my partner for the vintage sniper rifle match at the Eastern Games a few years ago. But good group of folks. Always enjoy shooting with other Marines. And somebody else just made a $20. Wow, John Ladd just made a $20 donation. Thank you very much, John. And he said, keep up the great videos. The knowledge and tests are very informative for us. Look forward to your uploads. Thank you very much. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Now I got to figure out where I was, because it looks like I'm getting behind here. I'm trying to make my way down through the comments, and I'm failing miserably, it looks like. And it looks like some talk about the pepper spray. Travis Chapin, Llama Max 1. Okay, so he has a Llama Max 1. Looks like it's working well for him. Yeah, I just could not get that one that I had to work. Pepper spray has worked for me in self-defense situations 3 times. Good. Dale Kidd had a Llama back in the 1980s. First centerfire pistol, actually not bad. Yeah, and they've changed since then. The company has changed hands. The pistols are now being made in the Philippines. So it's not quite the same company as they were back in the day. Mark Burke, thunder in Cleveland, storm on the way. So I've heard. It's not doing much of anything right here. It's been sort of raining on and off all day, but no thunder or lightning or anything else going on right now. Craig Benz actually saw some 327 ammo. Good. Steve Detweiler mentioned you do karate. Do you also train in BJJ? No, I don't. My parent system is Taekwondo. A few years ago, I switched over to Japanese style karate, but I've never done any jiu-jitsu, or at least not formally. The longer you train in martial arts, the more things eventually start to blend together, and you pick up some techniques from other systems here and other systems there. When I was in Japan, I picked up some things from some other Japanese systems over there. So, I mean, it really all sort of blends together the higher you go. It seems like the basics are where you see the biggest difference. At least that's been my experience. And I'm going to try to catch up here. If I miss some of your comments, I apologize, but I'm starting to really get a bunch of them over here, and I'm trying to catch up a little bit. So I'm going to jump down a little bit. So Victor says, so even an ordinary pocket knife would be considered a concealed weapon if you're carrying it as a weapon. If you're carrying it to open boxes or something like that, then no. But if you're carrying it as a weapon, then yes, it would be. Dr. T says, nice. I think he's talking about the Canic pistol. What hobbies do you enjoy when you're not shooting? Really, it seems like all of my hobbies have something to do with shooting. I'm either loading ammunition, or I'm working on firearms, or I'm making a YouTube video, or I'm doing training on my own, or I'm shooting in matches. My hobbies all seem to be interrelated to shooting. And Marsu Kavele is here. How you doing, Marsu? Glad you made it. Joining us all the way from Finland. I appreciate you joining. Those Canics look kind of like they do look sort of like stormtrooper pistols or something like that. I agree. House of Pain was a nice report. Yeah, and I really did enjoy those being there with those guys. Steve Detweiler, my friend Robbie just bought one of those. Haven't shot it, but Now I'll bug him. Okay. And Lion Quest Fitness is here. How you doing, Greg? Hope that all is well down in South Carolina there. Says, I learned the hard way to let pepper spray have its effect first after walking into a clay. Yeah. And that's another thing. Every time you spray somebody, you end up with it on you and everybody else ends up. And I can remember, being in a fight and you're down there and everybody's wrestling around and all of a sudden I get a whiff and I'm like, uh-oh. And you have about that much warning before you get it yourself. Just enough that you smell it and you know it's coming. It's like, somebody is spraying down everybody that's in the fight. The memories. Simon Aguilar, I went to the Marine Corps graduation ceremony at Paris Island one time. It was pretty cool. I was only ever there one time, and it was the time that I graduated. Marsuka Bailey, time is 2:30 here in Finland. Woke up in the middle of my... well, thanks for joining, Marsu. Don't stay up too late. Make sure you get your rest. This will be available in the morning so you can fire it back up and watch the replay. Bob is late, but he made it here. How you doing, Bob? Glad you made it. Michael Alsup says, hello from Iowa. Hello, Michael. Word of Prussia says, haven't caught an HR Funk stream in a long time. Big ups. So glad you made it this time. Okay, Jacon Jasonator says, do you think it's stupid of me to open carry an 1851 Navy 44? Enjoy them. I'm very proficient with them. While I'm carrying my 1911 most often, I do like to carry the 1851 sometimes. Do I think you're stupid? No, I don't think you're stupid. You probably get some strange looks every now and then. I don't know where you live, and some places are, less concerned about somebody open carrying than other places. If you're out west somewhere, that might not look out of place at all. So no, I don't think you're stupid. Ammo shortage coming, or is it all going to the Ukraine? I don't know. I really don't. You ever do martial blade concepts? Not really. A little bit back in my youth. I started training in martial arts when I was 14. So, there's been a lot of things that I've done over the years, but I never really seriously did any blade training. Brian Daniels, I met a lot of service teams at the Gary Anderson range. They're in there often during the national matches. Yeah. There's all the service teams running around. Caveman in a Suit says, finally picked up an SKS after wanting to start getting into milsurp for a while. Do you have a favorite milsurp firearm? Probably my 03 Springfields. There's just something about those old rifles that I really like. And, they're not nothing exotic. It's not like a foreign rifle or anything like that, but I really like my 03s. And I got to find out where I was now. Joe Morgan says, well, I am, looks like he's talking to somebody else. John Ladd is talking about pepper spray in places where you can't carry a firearm. Jeff Tim says, I passed my Swiss Army knife through the screen of the United States Air Force Museum in Dayton with no problem. Okay. Be careful with that. Just be a little careful. But it is a Swiss Army knife. That doesn't exactly look like a terrorist weapon or anything. And I very much like my Swiss Army knives. I've got mine right here. I've actually got a small collection of them. This one's the Camper, and I was using this a while ago. I like the saw in there because I can do different things with it. Now where was I? I'm lost. That's where I am. Patrick Edwards, glad to make it here. Glad you made it, Patrick. Thanks for joining. Luke B says, uh-oh, new Paul Harrell just dropped. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Mountain Shooter, did you ever find out how the clip guide on your M1A broke? No. The only thing I can think of is it was a design flaw of some sort. Maybe there was something in that part that wasn't quite right, and from the constant shock of the bolt cycling, it somehow just caused it to fracture. It was the strangest thing. Paul Freed, I have a Canik TP9 SC. It's a really nice gun to shoot, good sights, and accurate. Nice pistol. Good. And I just got the first part of my review of the Rival Dark Side done earlier today, and I'm hopefully going to make it out to the range on Thursday, and I'll get the shooting portion of that recorded. And with a little bit of luck, I'll have that up on Saturday for Saturday's premiere video. Steve Detweiler, thanks for the video, HR. Got stuff to do and bed. Have a great night. Thanks, Steve. Take care. Sleep well. Armored Ghost, what are some luxury guns you'd enjoy owning and shooting? I would really like to have a nice, high-end 1911, a Les Baer, Ed Brown, something like that. I would like to have one of those just to see what I think of it as much as anything else. Beyond that, trying to think of which precision rifle I would like the most. I'll have to give that some thought because there's several of them floating around through my mind. But yeah, definitely some high-end 1911 is something I'd like to have. Paul Joseph, checking out, Chief. Regards to your better hat. Thanks, Paul. Sleep well. Take care. Be careful there. Bill Keener, a friend of mine, gave me a couple of nice firearms before he passed. He has no relatives, none. I don't want to use them as range only. So does anyone know how I can make them legal so I can get on my CCW? I don't know where you live, Bill. Depending on the laws of your state, that may be a process you'll have to go through. I would say probably check with an attorney who's familiar with the laws and see what he or she might be able to tell you. Marsukaveli says, in general media, there's lots of lies about Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, and I try to be careful because I don't think I know enough about the history and politics of that region to really weigh in about, who's right and who's wrong and all of that. The thing that strikes me, though, is the Ukrainian people appear to really, really, really not want to be part of Russia again. And I think I can empathize with that to some degree. And now I'm going to find out where we were again. And he's talking, Bob is talking to Bill Keener. Oh, Lord, Jeff Dim says, oh, Lord, PSA just sent me a sale bulletin. Well, send it to me. Word of Prussia says, I think my 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire is really an interesting round. Any thoughts on the 22 WMR rifles and pistols? I think it's a good cartridge. I've never shot it a lot. I've shot it a little bit, but it definitely gives you some oomph over and above your standard 22 rimfire. It doesn't quite get up to the level of something like a 223 Remington or any of the other centerfire rounds. So you don't have to worry quite so much about the maximum range and stuff like that. But it's a useful round. There's a reason it's been around for all these years. Elaine's Domain. I do the cowboy holster open carry. Wait a second. I do the cowboy holster if open carry was common around North Alabama. Okay. Bill Keener, you're in California. I'm sorry. I can't help you because I have no idea what the laws are in California. And some of you guys are talking to each other, so I'm just sort of zooming down through here. Dr. T says, cool carry knife. Thank you. Arborist 460. Howdy, Chief. Matt from Kentucky. Ever fired a PSG-1? No, I haven't. I would like to. It's one of those, I saw it in the movie Sniper way back in the day. I know they were just insanely expensive. I'd love to shoot one, but I never have. Marsukaveli, we are probably the next country to have a war with Russia. thanks to our government. Well, it won't be the first war that Finland has ever fought with Russia. I hope not. I hope that doesn't come to your country anytime soon, or ever for that matter. ASDF says you should do a video on the HK P7. It's a pistol from the 1980s. Yeah, I would like to. The only bad thing is whenever you come across one of those, they are just insanely expensive, either the M8 or the M13. I've known a couple of people that own them. I've seen them. I don't think I've ever shot one, but I'd like to. Will I Am? How about a 2011? Hard to find. I've seen a few of those. I've seen a few of them in gun shops here not all that long ago, so they're out there. But that's another one that actually I shot one of those. I think it was a 2011 last weekend at that fundraiser shoot that I went to when we shot all the different firearms, and I think one of those was a 2011. Marsu Cavalli, my Mosin Nagant rifle is super accurate with a Sacco made barrel. Okay. 18 wins again. Just getting home. Hello, everyone from around the east coast of Virginia. Hello to you. Thanks for joining. Bobby Boldly says, what is your opinion of the new high power like pistol from FN? I've only seen, the little bit of information that came out from the SHOT Show. I've never seen one in real life. I got to tell you, though, the thing that really bugs me about it is 40 ounces. I mean, the older high powers pointed so well, they balanced so well, they're whatever, 32-ish ounces, something like that. And to re-engineer the high power and make it that much heavier, I think is a mistake on FN's part. But I don't know. I'll see. When I can finally handle one and maybe shoot one, I'll give you a better opinion of it. Nathan Huxtable, if you want a high-end 1911, don't forget Cabot. Yeah, I'm familiar with them, and you're right. They do have seriously impressive prices. And again, I'm just kind of zooming down through here. Joshua, I don't know if it's Bracky or Breaky, says, hey, HR Funk, just picked up a Ruger LCR. Any recommendations for 38 special or 357 carry ammo? If you can find the Spear 135 grain plus P38s, those were specially made or specifically made for short-barreled revolvers. That's a good load. My favorite mid-range 357 load was the Remington Golden Saber that they made for a while, and I don't think they're making it anymore. If you can find any of that stuff anywhere, I would say grab that. That makes a great smaller short-barrel revolver cartridge. Those would be my first two recommendations that come to mind. Joe Morgan, I just think we should be worried about taking care of the problems we have and the issues we have before trying to solve others' issues for them. Yeah, and we're not doing a whole lot to solve too many other problems right now. Marsu Cavalli, just love these live videos. Thank you, Marsu. RJL says open carry makes you a target for low lives. You know what, though? Have you ever heard of somebody open carrying that was targeted? I don't think I have. Coffee Holic, what are your thoughts on the new USMC SRO Trigicon? Wow, lots of initials there. 1 to 8 by 28, not much info, and I don't think I'm even familiar with it. I don't think I've seen it, so I can't really give you any opinion on it because I don't know anything about it. Arborist, anything from the HST line is great. I do like HST, Federal HST. What do you recommend for a long eye relief optic for an M1A Scout Squad getting older? Loophole, the last I know, made a Scout scope that was pretty good. It was a long eye relief. I think Burris makes one too. I got one in a while back from, who was that? If you go back and watch the videos that I made with the M1A, it wasn't the Scout Squad. It was the shorter one. The oh shoot, I can't think of the name of it. they're really compact Springfield Armory M1A. I have a couple of videos on there, and I have an optic that I talk about in those videos. If you go back and watch it, you'll see one that was a little less expensive that I had in there. Sorry, I can't think of the name, but apparently I haven't had enough coffee yet. And let's see, going down through here. Craig Benz got to fire an M7 when I was too dumb and young to know what I was shooting. Okay. Mark Burke, hi HR. Have you been shooting the Colt competition lately? What is a good 45 ACP match load for that gun or the Gold Cup? I've actually got a match load loaded up, and I've not been able to shoot that for a while. I've got so much shooting that I want to do, and I've been waiting for the weather to improve so I can get out and do some shooting and get the video rolling. But I hope to be out soon with a accuracy or a match load with that Colt competition series. So stay tuned, and I hopefully will have something up with that soon. Mountain shooter, let's see. Picked one up of mine, Dream Guns. Okay, got a Remington 700 Police and 338. Wow. Okay, good for you. A Monk 93, like my USP 40, probably the smoothest shooting caliber I have. Okay, good. Arborist 460, I have a few Golden Sabers. Good, good. Jeff Walden, when did you retire from the police? Basically March 1st of last year is when I left my chief's position. My last day was actually February, I don't remember now, 26th or 27th, something like that. Dale Kidd bringing it up in a gun discussion is a bigger one. What? Must be talking to somebody else, Dale. I must have missed a comment in there somewhere. Are you a proponent of constitutional carry? Downside realistic? Yes, I am a proponent. I still think, however, that people should go out and avail themselves of training. Don't just go out, purchase a firearm, and start carrying it with no past experience, training, or whatever whatsoever. I think that's a recipe for disaster. So I still encourage people to go through the training courses when they get a chance and learn something about the laws and learn something about the handling and use of firearms and all that. So I don't have a problem with constitutional carry, but people still need to educate themselves on firearms and all the dynamics and legalities involved with carrying a firearm. RJL, good point. My last comment, more from the paranoia than experience. Okay. Jeff Walden, what was the duty rifle for Smithville? M16A4. No, it wasn't M16A4. It was Rock River Arms, basically the M4 variant. I can't think of the specific model number right now, but it was the 16-inch barrel Rock River Arms AR carbine. And Bill Keener just made a $20 donation. Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you that have donated to the channel during this live stream. I really appreciate that. That goes right into the channel and helps to fund everything you watch in the videos. SOCOM 16, thank you very much. I could not think of that to save my life. If you go back and watch the videos I made on the SOCOM 16, that's got that optic in that I was talking about. Patrick Edwards, just had my A2 clone out the other day. Really enjoyed the 20 basically 20 round magazines. For plinking, happy to report that the Barska carry handle scope did hold a 0, although I prefer the small ring aperture. Yeah, so far I've been pretty happy with that cheapy Amazon 69.95 scope that I put on that carry handle AR of mine. So I hope yours is doing as well. I hope you enjoyed it. It's fun. So that's all I care about. And Rabbi is here. We'll pay donation of $1.99 to cover my next hair. I just got my hair cut today. What are you talking about? I'm back to Marine Corps regulation here, and you're giving me a hard time about it, Rabbi. James Wilkinson, I open carry all the time when I'm at home. I never had a problem. That's good. Lon Lunetta, enjoyed your recent cross draw video. I went to cross draw chest rig when hiking. It works well. Yeah, I just like that. When I'm at work, and I've got a video on this from a year or so ago. On my vest, I've got my pistol right here, so it's essentially a cross draw, and I prefer that. I really like that. It's comfortable. It's easy to get to when you're seated or driving. So I'm glad that works for you too. And Paul Freed just made a $20 donation. Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. I got people that are donating money right and left, and Rabbi with the $1.99 to cover my next haircut. Maybe to help buy a wig or a toupee or something. Maybe that's what he's getting at. Bob Baker, any opinion on the Taurus G3C? Price-wise, pretty darn accurate. I did a review on a G2C a while back, and it's a pretty good pistol, especially for the price. The GC3 is just an evolution of that, so I think there's every reason to believe it's also a pretty good pistol. So I think if that's something you're interested in for the money, it's worth giving a try. Justin S., any experience with pistol caliber carbines such as Ruger, PC carbine, Beretta Storm, et cetera, I've got several pistol caliber carbines. A couple of them are lever action Marlins, chambered for 44 Magnum and 357 Magnum. I've also got a Kel-Tec sub 2000 chambered for 40 Smith & Wesson. I'm pretty happy with all of those. There's another pistol caliber carbine I've been on the lookout for. And if I can ever find one, you'll see it here on the channel. I don't want to reveal what that is right now, but I am on the hunt for one. David Hilliard, got to go late for dinner with my... Oh, my Lord. David, hurry up. Don't keep that lady waiting. Thanks so much for joining us. Jeff Walden, 98. Thoughts on the Beretta 92 FS Inox? I like the Beretta pistols, and the Inox is just sort of a newer version of the standard 92. I've seen them. I haven't handled them, haven't shot one, but I don't have any reason to believe they are anything other than excellent pistols, just like all the other Beretta 92s. Paul Freed had to keep up with everyone showing me. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Jeff Tim, I use the military style burr haircut to conceal the fact so much hair is gone. Rabbi, I think I'm in the market for an SR 1911 in 10 millimeter, but I want a shiny pimple. Well, keep an eye out, Rabbi. You'll probably find one. Bill Keener, have to go. Wish it was here for wish it was for dinner, but it's for honeydews. All right. Well, thanks for joining, Bill. I appreciate it. Word of Prussia wants the Taurus 942. And John Monty says, hi from Brisbane, Australia. How are you? Thanks for joining. I'm always glad to get folks from Australia. It seems like for a while there, I had quite a few people from Australia that were watching and chiming in and commenting a lot. And then they kind of fell off for a while, and I didn't hear anything. So I'm glad you're joining. I appreciate you being here. And I'm going down through here. Some of you guys are talking to each other. Will I Am, Remington being reborn, better times and models ahead. Should they improve their classic models like Beretta does? I don't know. I just hope Remington puts together some decent firearms and they start to reemerge and become the company that we knew them to be historically. I don't know. Right? I think the only thing I've seen so far are some new 870s out there floating around. So I'm not sure how much they're even churning out at this point. A Monk 93 is a 45 Colt or 357 mag, more fun to shoot in an end frame, maybe a 4 or 5 inch square foot. Wow, more fun to shoot. I would say the 357 is probably more versatile, but as far as just plain fun, probably the 45 Colt. Sammy Tracy says, howdy from the Iron Curtain known as California. Howdy, Sammy. Wow, I hope you can make it out from behind the Iron Curtain sometime. John Monty, I'm a brand new shooter at 60 years old. Should I buy a traditional style pistol like a Beretta 92X or a polymer like a Walther PDP? A lot of that depends on you, John, and what kind of shooting you want to do. Between those two, I would say probably if you can, try to shoot them. I don't know if there's any sort of a range there where you can rent firearms and try different ones, or maybe you know somebody that's got different kinds. But if you can shoot them, see which one you think is going to work for the best for you and make your decision then. And just as a side note, I was under the impression that firearms ownership in general, and particularly handgun ownership, was severely restricted in Australia. So any light you can shed on that would be greatly appreciated. Rabbi says Remington should stick to 870s and 700s, so there's some wisdom there. Word of Prussia, enjoyed your MP15 and MP22 videos. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Bill. John, you'll get this info or this advice a lot to buy both of them. Sammy Tracy, been looking at a Colt King Cobra 357 and 4-inch, but hard to find and expensive when you do find them. And I would imagine in California, they might be even a little bit more expensive yet. And a monk number 93 just broke in a black Galco strong side with a heavy cant for the 92 GRDO. Good. Paul Freed, Remington's ammo is starting to become available. Good. Hence my reference earlier. Ruger bought their gun works and they do good things. Ruger bought Marlin. I don't think they bought Remington. They didn't buy the Remington brand. I'm not sure who is producing those now. G. Cal says, hello, do you have any experience with the Beretta TPR-9? If so, what are your thoughts? Thanks. No, I don't. I've seen them, never handled them, never shot one, so I'm sorry, I can't really give you an opinion on them. Everyone and their brother is doing ammo in stock notices. Well, good. I hope they really do have ammo in stock. John Monty, very true. Takes about 18 months to get a handgun license in Australia and only allowed to buy one gun for the first 12 months. All right. I suppose the good news is at least you can get one. Wow. That's just, I always feel so bad for people that live in countries that are so restricted on their ability to purchase and own firearms. Sammy Tracy, yeah, overpriced MSRP, depending on where you shop. He's in Sacramento. Found a Colt Trooper 357 for about $700. Wow, that's actually not too bad. Might buy it later. Bob Baker, you once did a video on a Smith & Wesson Titanium. I can't remember the model, but you said it was your go-to gun a long time ago, and it still is. That's still probably my most carried, I used to say off-duty, I guess I can still say that, firearm. It's my Smith & Wesson Model 342. It's a alloy frame with a titanium cylinder, and it's got the aluminum barrel shroud with the stainless steel barrel liner. I think it weighs something like 11.5 ounces empty or whatever. It's just so easy to carry, so easy to drop in a pocket and just go. And that's one of those firearms that will never leave my collection because it is just so easy to carry. Jeff Tim giving out the Blue Label Glock notice. Thank you. Rabbi, I thought you were sending out all the bullets to Ukraine. Not sure who you're talking to, Rabbi. Again, I'm trying to just skim down through the comments here, find the next one for me. Elaine's Domain, I'd like an older Marlin lever action. I've got a few of them. I've got probably half a dozen Marlin levers, and they're all good firearms. John Dis says hello. Hello to you, John. 342, a lot of kick? Not really. Not with 38 specials. I mean, you feel it recoils, but it's not like the newer ones that are the super light revolvers that are chambered for 357 Magnum. 38 special is still manageable. And looking for the next. Bob Baker, exact name was 342 Ti. Yeah, actually, it was 342 Airlight Ti. Matt Moore, do you have and/or like any AKs? Big fan of your channel. I do not have any AKs. I was going to do an AK video here recently, and I decided not to because I feel like I'm too ignorant of the platform, and I don't want to just say, "Hey, yeah, this is really cool. I like it. Bang, bang, bang," and come off sound like a moron. So I opted not to do the video. Nice man cave. Yeah, thank you. This is actually my home office. I spend a lot of time in here when I'm editing my videos. This is where I'm sitting doing all the editing. I spend hours and hours sitting in front of this computer. So this is very familiar surroundings for me. One of these days, you should do an overview of your collection. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Rabbi, get a Galil Ace. Yeah, I would like to try a few more of the IWI firearms, and I got to shoot a Tavor last weekend, so that was kind of fun. And I don't know. The only bad thing about the IWI long guns is they are pricey. Robert KF1, I saw your reviews on I believe that's the CZ P10 that you have in the P10F. Both made in the Czech Republic years back. Great striker triggers. I'd like to see what you think. Yeah, I mean, if I could ever try them out, I would. I'm not sure where you are or how we would accomplish that exactly, but I would definitely be willing to. Old guy got his wife a Lady Smith, so she's one happy camper. Good. Yep, CZ. Okay. Mark Nagel, Taurus G2C, $249.99 at Rural King. Good pistol. Yes, for that price, I would say give it a try. If you have a problem with it, you can either send it back and get it fixed or trade it for something else. But the G2C that I reviewed a while back was a good shooting pistol. I think for that price, if it's something you're interested in, go ahead and give it a whirl. Did you carry a backup weapon on duty, revolver? I carried various ones over the years. I carried some revolvers. I carried some semi-autos. So it kind of depends on what era we're discussing. Robertson, Mansfield High. Okay. We could potentially do that. I'm going to try to make it to the Mansfield Gun Show that I think is coming up. What is it? The 22nd and 23rd or 23rd and 24th toward the end of the month. But I got a lot of stuff going on toward the end of this month, so I don't know for sure I'm going to make it there. I'm going to try to make it one of those days. Shot the Galil AR and ARM years ago. Loved them both. Would love to shoot the Ace. Okay, and that's Dale Kidd making that comment. As an LEO, how many service weapons did you transit through, either by choice or department issue? I've actually got a video on that. If you go back, it's probably a little over a year ago, and I talk about all my different duty handguns that I carried over the years. So if you go back through the videos, you'll find that one, and I talk about all of them in depth. Matt Moore, for a noob 1911s, what would you recommend to get as a first one? They're hard to find and quite expensive for a decent quality one. I would say start out with something like a Rock Island Armory. Those are in the $500-ish area. They're fairly decent quality handguns for the price. That would give you something to try, see what you think of the platform, and then from there you could decide, whether you wanted to go more expensive, or if you don't care for it, then you wouldn't be out that much. And a lot of talk about the G2C and G3C. Jeff Walden, 998, says hello from Alberta. Hello to you, Jeff. Thanks for joining. And a lot of people chiming in about the Rock Island Armory 1911s. Daniel Green, why do you think the 10 millimeter as a cartridge has become so popular again lately? I don't know. Other than things come in fashion and go out of fashion. The 38 Super came back into style for a while, then it went out of style. 40 Smith & Wesson was huge for a while. Now the 40 Smith & Wesson's out. There seems to be an ebb and flow. The nice thing about the 10 millimeter is it is a very versatile cartridge. It gives you enough power. It's kind of like the 357 Magnum, or probably a better comparison would be the 41 Magnum, where you can use it for self-defense. You can use it for, woods. You can use it for hunting. You can use it for up to medium-sized game. You can do just about anything with it. It's not extremely difficult recoil to deal with, but it's got enough oomph behind it that it can do just about anything you want it to do. So I suppose all of those factors come into play. Alexander 0125, what are some double stack and double feed pistols? I know the Norinco CF98, and they're banned in the US. I'm drawing a blank right now. I should be able to come up with some. I'm not sure about the Mac 10, Mac 11, if those are double stack. I know they're double stack. I'm not sure if they're double feed. I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a while. And looking back down through here, what's our time looking like? Hour and 12 minutes. Let's take this to about an hour and 15 minutes. So another couple of minutes here, and I think we'll wrap things up. So if we want to get the last minute questions and comments in, ebb and flow depends on what gun magazine you read or what YouTube channel you watch, I'm sure. Paul Freed, my youngest son in Texas, is in the Texas Guard, stationed at the border. He uses 10 millimeter to one-shot several hogs because they use rounds in their M4s that are not effective on hog. Really? Wow. And Skip Boyer's here. Hey, Skip, you made it just in time for us to wrap things up. I'm glad you made it. Jeff Walden, people from America love Alberta. Well, people from Alberta love America, and people from America love Alberta. How's that sound? Jeff Tim says good night and thank you. Thanks for joining, Jeff. And it looks like things are slowing down here. Yep, everybody's saying hi to Skip. Our holster maker extraordinaire joining us here at the end of the live stream. And so I'll throw this in now as we're getting ready to wrap up. Thanks to all of you for watching. I appreciate it greatly. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for participating in the live chat. This is always extremely fun for me, and I greatly enjoy the interaction. I wish I could really talk to all of you and have a conversation back and forth, but this is really as close as I can come. And I have said this before. I tell people this all the time. I have the best viewers on YouTube, and that's all of you folks. With watching the videos and making the comments and interacting, and my members who actually donate money to the channel, all of you who have made contributions tonight, thank you, thank you, thank you. The thing that keeps me on YouTube and keeps me coming back time and time again is all of you, and the relationship that we've built, the community that we've established here on YouTube. It's just phenomenal. And I really don't think a lot of YouTube content creators have quite the relationship that all of us do. It's just a different feel. It's like a lot of friends sitting around on a Tuesday night having a great conversation, and I so appreciate all of you joining in. Thanks again. All of you have a great, great Tuesday night, a great rest of the week. We've got the premiere video coming up tomorrow on the crossbreed holsters. So tune in for that if you're interested in those holsters. And Matt Moore just made essentially a $5 donation. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate that right here at the end. That's just tremendous. And again, thanks to everyone for joining. Hope to see you again soon. And until we all get together again, good shooting and bye-bye.